everyone, this is Erica from Confessions of a Homeschooler, and today Strawberry Shortcake and I are going to make some fun Christmas candles for you guys. These are super cute and they're great to give away as gifts, so if you'd like to see how to do this, stick around and we'll be right back. So for this tutorial, you'll need some candle wicks, and I recommend getting some longer ones. Just it kind of depends on how tall your mugs are, but you want them to be long enough to stick out above your mug. You also need some cute Christmas mugs like these. We found these at Michael's, but you can get them at the dollar store or most local craft stores. You're also going to need a glass mixing bowl, some candies for decoration. You're also going to need one brown crayon and about a half of a black crayon just to richen the color. And we're doing brown and black because we're making hot chocolate candles, but if you want to do something else, you're welcome to use a different color. We're also going to add in a little bit of peppermint oil just to make them smell really good. And then of course you're going to need some sort of soy wax flakes or candle wax. I like to use these soy wax flakes. You'll see why in a little bit, because we're going to put some whipped cream on the top of our candles, and these work really well for that. And they're also really thin and melt really quickly in the microwave. So we're going to pour some of these flakes into this measuring cup, and I'm kind of eyeballing it based on how big my mugs are, so there's not really an exact measurement for this. You kind of just have to wing it. So I'm going to put those in, and then the other thing I'm going to add in is just our black crayon and our kind of broken up brown crayon, and this is just going to give it a nice kind of rich color. We're going to stick this in the microwave on 30-second increments and just stir it with one of our wooden sticks in between, and you're going to want to just make it just nice and smooth. So it's probably going to take, I would say, maybe a minute and a half to 2 minutes to melt all this wax, but we'll come back and let you know. So while our wax is melting, Strawberry Shortcake is going to take the end of a rolling pin and just crunch up some of our peppermint pieces, and we're going to use this to decorate the tops of our candles. Okay, so you'll also need a little bit of super glue. I forgot to mention that in the original post, but we're going to put a little bit of super glue on the bottom of this and just stick it in here, and that's going to hold our wick steady. I have tried putting wax, but you don't really want to use wax because as the candle burns and gets hot, the wax holding this gets hot and melts, and then your wick starts floating around in your candle, and that's no good. So, alright, so we're going to put a little bit of super glue on the bottom of this guy, and then we're just going to stick him right in the middle there. Just kind of push down on him. So once you've got your wicks secured to the bottom, we go ahead and put some popsicle sticks around them just to hold them up so the wicks are going to stay straight in the middle. We'll pour the candle wax in and then make sure that the wicks are straight, and then we'll just let them sit like that to dry. Okay, so as you can see, we've melted our wax and our crayons have made it a nice dark chocolatey brown color. So we're just going to stir it to make sure all the little pieces are melted, and then we're going to pour it into our cups. Okay, so we're just going to gently hold up our wick and pour in our hot wax. Hopefully we have enough for 2 candles here. We might have to make another one. Okay, and then I'm going to add my sticks back just to hold our wick so it comes up through the center and stays that way. There we go. Okay, so as you can see, our cups are set up and ready to go. I just put the little sticks on to hold the wicks up, and I don't know if you can tell, but the little penguin on the right, we ran out of wax, and so his cup isn't quite full, but it's okay. We're just gonna run to the store. We'll get some more wax and add a little bit more crayon and just pour it on top. So I let my candles dry for about 4 to 6 hours. I think this, as you can see, they're nice and firm. One of my kids actually touched this one, but it's okay. We're going to cover that up. And you can see they're a little bit different color. The penguin, if you remember, I ran out of wax and I had to go back to the store, and I almost like this color a little better. I think I put a little bit less black. So maybe like a quarter of a crayon of black so that it doesn't have such a dark tint to it, but it's totally up to you. So anyways, now what we're going to do is we're going to make some of the fun decorations for the top. So I've got another little measuring cup here, and I just filled it in with some more of my flakes, and I'm going to stick this in the microwave for about 30 to maybe 50 seconds. Do 30 at first, or maybe 20 actually. Do 20 at first and then stir it and then do another 20. We don't want this all the way melted. We want it to be kind of chunky so that it looks like whipped cream on top. So we're going to do that and we'll be right back. Okay, so as you can see, it's chunky but kind of semi-melted. So we're going to take these chunks, and I'm just going to kind of pile them on top of one of these cups and try and just have it look like whipped cream. We'll see how it goes. And I think that's good right there, so I'm going to stop. Now while that's still wet, I'm actually gonna dump on a few little sprinkles here. So before this gets too hard, you want it a little bit firm, but you can go ahead and add some other embellishments like these cute little candy canes out the side. To make the marshmallows, you just need some kind of a soap mold or candle mold. This is just a square soap mold, it's just plastic. And I just reheated the rest of my wax to a nice liquid. And I'm just gonna pour it in this little mold right here. And I'm gonna let that set up about 40 minutes and pop it out. It's a little bit thinner, so it shouldn't take too long. Then I'm gonna cut it into chunks and put it on top of the other mug, and it'll look just like little white marshmallows. All right, so our wax has hardened, and I've just popped it out of the mold, and so you can see I have this nice little brick of white wax. And I'm just gonna take my knife and just cut it very carefully into little chunks. And it's okay if they break up like that. You'll see we're gonna kind of rub the edges next and smooth them all out so they look like marshmallows. Okay, so as you can see, we've got these kind of crumbly edges, and these don't look very marshmallow-like, but soy wax is nice and soft, and so you can either kind of take your finger and smooth them out, or I like to just rub them on my cutting board like this, and then as you can see, it starts creating this nice kind of soft corner. So I'm going to do that to all of these and turn them into a little more marshmallowy looking, and then we will be right back and I'll show them how we are going to top our candle. Okay, so I finished making all my little marshmallows, and then I am just going to place them on top of this little guy. And next, I'm just going to take some of our little candy cane dust and kind of dust it on top. Like so. The next thing I'm going to do is stick this in the microwave for just a couple seconds. I want these marshmallows to melt and just kind of adhere to each other, and it'll also help keep the little pieces of candy in it as well. Alright guys, so that is it. Here's our completed candles. I think they turned out really cute, and they'll make great gifts for our friends. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and we will see you next time. Oh man. So our soap has hardened, or not soap, sorry, I was just making candles, our wax.